Okay, I know this is a little bit longer of a video, but we spent 2 weeks in Florida after leaving Mississippi where I had my post-op. We headed to Pensacola for a night, and then we pushed a lot of miles to make it to our first Cracker Barrel experience and stayed the night in that parking lot before heading to Cape Canaveral to watch a SpaceX rocket launch. We then headed south, stayed at a national recreation area, and then stayed on Okeechobee for a couple nights. And then we headed to the Everglades, stayed there a few nights. Due to extremely hot and humid conditions, we left there early, stayed in Key West for a couple nights, and then started heading up north, staying in a state park, and then at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa. And then we ended our time in Florida at an Airbnb. It was just a RV campsite. We spent 2 nights there and then left Florida and entered Georgia, heading to Valdosta. This little punk, Trinity's dog food is over here that she didn't want to eat. And this little butthead has been hanging out. Not what we need. Now he's getting up on our bike.
Back in Florida today, headed to Pensacola, and then going to try to head over to Cape Canaveral tomorrow to catch a SpaceX launch. Fingers crossed that it all works out.
Okay, so I went to the post-op and we're kind of in limbo for the next 2 months because all he wants me to do is go to 1 physical therapy appointment and stay off my leg for the next 8 weeks. So we are back in Florida, giving Florida a second chance at the Oak Grove RV Park at Pensacola Naval Air Station. We are going to go to my 1 physical therapy appointment today. They're just going to set me up with kind of a home program, and then we're going to try and put in as many miles as we can to get out towards Cape Canaveral because there is a launch scheduled for tomorrow in the morning. So we would really like to see that. So we'll see what happens. It might be our first Cracker Barrel night. Well, we finally had to do it. Stayed in a parking lot last night. First time in over 4 months, but had a long day of driving yesterday. And woke up early this morning. We got another 2 hours or so to Cape Canaveral and hoping to watch the rocket launch this morning. Alright, we're at Spaceview Park, ready to watch the SpaceX launch. 47 satellites going up for Starlink. sorry for that poor footage of the SpaceX launch. I'm an amateur and all I have is my iPhone right now, so not really the right equipment to capture that. We were a little further away than we wanted to be to see it, but it was still cool to see the launch. So after the launch, we started heading south, and our plan was to come on Patrick Space Force Base, which is where we're at right now. Showed up, and they had a spot for us for 3 nights. Going through the registration and whatnot, and then they say, we can't allow you because of your dogs. So apparently Cane Corso, the breed, they banned them, and they are not letting us stay there because our dogs look scary. It's ridiculous. We've been to probably a dozen fam camps throughout the states right now. Never ran into this problem. So we're gonna have to try to jump through hoops now and find a place. And it's spring break week, so this should be pretty difficult. I even invited the lady out at registration, the camp host out, to meet our dogs, and she said they were great. But she called her boss, and the boss, who was on the phone, never saw our dogs, never met our dogs. She was the one that made the determination that we couldn't stay there. So screw you, Patrick Space Force Base, and screw you, Summer, for not letting us stay there for absolutely no reason. Okay, so found a spot for tonight at Savannah's recreation area. Supposedly a lot of alligators in this recreation area, so hopefully we'll get to see one. Still have no plan for Friday and Saturday, so tomorrow and the next day, I don't know what we're gonna do. Might be another Cracker Barrel or Bass Pro Shop parking lot type of scenario. Hopefully not, but we'll see.
Good morning. We just left Savannah's recreation area. It was a really nice municipal campground, I think in St. Lucie or Fort Pierce.
St. Lucia?
Whatever. They could only get us in for one night, so we're moving on to another campground over by Lake Okeechobee later this afternoon, but we're stopping at a beach that supposedly allows dogs just to kill a little bit of time, work on our tans.
More to come.
Got the smartest route to take to the beach.
So as you saw, we spent a little bit of time on the beach this morning before heading a little bit west to the only place that we could find accommodations for the next 2 nights. So traded salt water for fresh water, and we're camping right on Lake Okeechobee. Not really a nice campground. It's $60 a night too, so pretty expensive, but is what it is. From here we're gonna head to the Everglades for a couple nights and then down to Key West. son thinks he owns our van and our bed now that we allow him in our bed to enjoy the AC. Well, we have made it to the Everglades. Nice big campsite. I'll show you here in a second. It's been a while since we've been to a campsite that is this nice. But it is hot and it is humid. Here for 3 nights. Okay. Day 2 in the Everglades. It's probably close to 90 degrees and humid as hell today. I think it's at like 90% humidity. But Jess left about 2 hours ago to go snorkeling in Biscayne National Park and explore that. Obviously I can't go do that, but I'm managing the dogs right now, sort of. And I'm gonna load them up. I've been running the AC for a good 4 hours and it can only run for about 6 hours. So I'm gonna go for a drive and that should charge the batteries back up and probably just chill in the AC again until the sun starts to go down. It's pretty freaking hot here. Here's the other campground called Flamingo. Not a lot of shade, but it's right on the coast.
I want to show you the entire exchange. Here it is.
If, for instance, the Polish government, a NATO member, wants to send fighter jets, does that get a green light from the U.S., or are you afraid that that will escalate tension?
No, that gets a green light.
All right, we are leaving the Everglades a day early because it's way too hot and humid, and heading to the Keys early.
Hot and humid.
Where I'm sure it's going to be much cooler, but hopefully there at least we'll have a better breeze.
So, what you think overall?
Nice campsites here, nice campground. It's just the weather. I know, you're probably sick of hearing me say it, but the dogs are miserable in this weather. I'm already looking forward to getting up north to cooler weather. But we're dumb and we feel like we need to go down there. Cuban sandwich in Key Largo. What's the place called?
Over Easy. Phenomenal. Absolutely delicious.
Alright, made it to Key West. Pretty busy campground. We did not get on the beach like we originally had before we had to cancel because I broke my leg, but pretty close. You can see it right behind me. And then we got hookups, so the dog's gonna have non-stop AC. So yeah, once again the dogs dictate everything that we do, but it'll be nice not having to worry about power going out. We should be able to leave them here tomorrow, and Jess and I can go exploring a little. Not that I can really do a whole lot, but better than sitting here. Also not sure if I can get in the water. That's what my wound looks like right now. It's still kind of healing, but I might try to.
Good morning. Our excellent luck continues. We were supposed to be going on a kayaking tour through the mangroves in clear bottom boats, and we were on the way, and I checked my email and we were canceled due to windy conditions. They said it was unsafe. So now we're just trying to find something else to do, go get some breakfast downtown Key West, and do all the tourist crap.
Might try to rent a boat from MWR or a kayak. We'll see. Eating at the Conch Shack. This was a suggestion from one of my cousins, and they closed down the street right in front of it, so I guess they're filming some sort of film, but we don't know which one. Lobster roll, strawberry smoothie, conch fritters, fish and chips.
Looks freaking amazing.
Can be yours for $60. Just came back, checked on the dogs. They're all good, chilling in the AC. So Jess and I are gonna head back downtown area and check out a state beach. Fort Zachary State
Historic Park and Beach.
Without even trying, I got a feeling
the beach at Fort Zachary State Historic Park. Beautiful. They do rent umbrellas and chairs, but they were a little pricey. It was pretty crowded. Water was beautiful and warm. Lots of areas to picnic if you are into that.
It's more of a rocky beach.
Yes, that is true. So definitely bring a chair. I spent a couple hours. It was amazing. Would definitely like to go back.
Well, wherever we end up next, we haven't had a dishwasher in probably 6 years. And it's the weirdest thing with this leg injury. I can't do dishes because my leg's in op. So Jess has to do it. It's very, very difficult.
I'm really, really happy about it.
Got here 2 days ago and gas was $4.69. Now it's $5.37. More on base than it is off base. Glad we topped up when we got here. Alright, rented some kayaks, 18 bucks each on base at MWR. Pretty good price and get them all day. Finally found something I can do.
High clouds drifting away, leaving those shadows under. First step out of the maze, follow the path and wander. And we go with no illusions. And we leave all our conclusions. Remember, hope instead. The best is up ahead. Oh, living with no regret. Oh, we don't have to look back. Steady, not in a rush. Letting the future unfold. Always anchored in trust, finding the strength.
From the Key Lime Bakery.
Delicious.
You've never met a pie that you don't like.
This is true.
We leave all our conclusions. Remember, hope instead. The best is up ahead. Oh, living with no regret. Oh, we don't have to look back. All fears run clear. Living with no regret. Scale high in stride. We don't have to look back.
Alright, that's gonna do it for the Florida Keys. We're heading back north and gonna hit up a state park somewhere outside of Naples. Alright, just arriving at Collier Seminole State Park. Saw a bunch of alligators on the north end of the Everglades on the drive today. It's kind of cool.
Hi guys, we are at Collier Seminole State Park outside of Naples for one night. Just taking a brief pit stop on our way out of Florida, up the west coast. It's hot and humid, ditching Greg and the dogs so they can hang out in the AC, and I'm going down to 10,000 Islands National Wildlife Refuge to do a 2.3 mile out and back hike. Supposedly lots of birds and alligators. Hopefully I get to see some.
I'm gonna sit here.
national park, they sit there with their mouths wide open, cooling
Yes.
themselves. That's freaky too.
Slowly creep by. So I just got back from 10,000 Islands National Wildlife Refuge. Did the 2.3 mile marsh trail. Went specifically to look for alligators. Did the entire walk and got almost all the way back to the parking lot when I had a very close encounter with one on the side of the trail. I was not really paying attention, floundering around batting the biting flies off me when I looked up, and there were two gentlemen and lady, and she hollered at me to get out of the way, move over, and I looked down and there was an enormous alligator right there, and got some good video and some photos, and then it started crossing the trail and following them. It was pretty exciting, pretty cool to see up close and personal.
Hell to the no. All right, we continued north. We're at MacDill Air Force Base right now, just here for the night. They didn't have any spots, so we're just dry camping at the marina. But the temperature has gotten down to the 60s, which is awesome, and it's gonna be really cool tonight. So that's gonna be a nice change. And then we're gonna head north, and we got a Airbnb, which is really just a place to park our van, but it's called Manatee Springs, and there's quite a lot to do there. And I guess Jess wanted to stay there, so we'll see how that is, and then that'll probably conclude our time in Florida. So we're in
Number 96, please, number 96.
Zephyr Hills, is that it? Zephyr Hills. Going to meet Camo. He was one of the first guys I connected with on the AT, and I haven't seen him since pretty much the first week on the AT. And they're full-time RVers here in Florida. That was cool seeing Camo and his wife. Had a good meal, exchanged stories about the AT. He's heading north in a couple months, so hopefully we'll get to reconnect with him again. Right now we are in Fort White, and we're going to be parking at an Airbnb location. Has a lot of activities like kayaking, tubing, and possibly even some manatees in the spring, so we'll see. We've arrived. This is not something we can get into. This is like a cabin of theirs.
Boy, 2 acres.
A little bit different for us.
But they're on Airbnb and Hip Camp. There's a washer and dryer in this shed.
This one.
And we have full hookups here, 30, 50 amp. They have water and...
Not that we need it.
But if we did, this is for other people as well, Gregory. Nice fire pit out back with seating, picnic table with seating.
And 2 bad dogs. Justin, who I worked with in Tucson, Arizona. He was DEA, and we worked a case for about 1.5 years together. He is coming to meet up with us, and we're gonna go across the street to the state park and go kayaking for a little bit. I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce this state park, but I'll leave a description for you guys. I guess I could have just walked straight over the rock. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't mind me. Can you make sure no one steals my crutches? You're going the wrong way.
Huh?
You're going the wrong way. Okay, highly recommend that state park and the kayaking. We only did a short bit because Dustin was kind of on a time crunch, but that spring water was crystal clear. We saw alligator gar, turtles, raccoons, a bunch of birds. It felt like we were in a movie. It was absolutely gorgeous. Jess, so Dustin headed back home, and then Jess just took off. She's headed back to the state park. She is going to try and find a hiking trail and possibly even a swimming hole, and she's bringing the underwater case for the phone, so hopefully we'll get some better footage from when she went snorkeling in Biscayne. More to come. Wanted to show you my sweet coin I got from Dustin. One more to add to the collection. This is DEA Gainesville.
Beautiful boardwalk down to the blue hole. I think it's going to be pretty busy. It's a gorgeous day, but hopefully less busy than on the weekends.
Okay, last day in Florida. For me, today was the best day as far as what we saw and experienced. I think that river was awesome. The past 2 days were probably the best days just because I got to reconnect with Camo and my buddy Dustin, which is always awesome. But I don't know, worst part of Florida was probably the Everglades, not because it sucked there, but because the weather was just miserable with the heat and humidity. What do you think?
Very true. I got eaten alive by the mosquitoes down there as well. So, but yeah, the Everglades area was beautiful, but I could do a hard pass next time.
I'm sure it's different for people that live here and you
Accustomed to it.
acclimate to the weather, but for us, we're not used to it. But what was your favorite part?
Again, probably here, doing the springs and everything, and then the kayaking today. Awesome. I really wish you were more mobile. We missed out on so much.
I have her trained well, so she agrees with me on everything.
The keys, while expensive, were pretty awesome, but again, it would have been more enjoyable if we could have explored more if you didn't have your bum leg. We missed out on a lot of biking, and things like that and just walking.
That does suck, because one of the main reasons why we brought the bikes was for Key West, and it is perfect for bikes. So if you're going there with a van, I know a few of you that I've talked to are bringing bikes, that's the place to do it. But that's it for this video. Happy trails.
And catch you in the next one.
Bye.